Welcome to the Aesthetics Unfiltered Podcast. We are Michelle Jones and Melanie Torres, two leading medical aesthetic nurse practitioners and great friends based in California. We uncover the inner workings of the booming aesthetics industry from both the patients as well as the providers' perspectives.
Join us for the authentic conversations about current and trending treatments, best practices, and the real issues people face with modern beauty standards. Any information or advice given is general in nature. You should consult with a healthcare provider before undergoing any treatment.
Hey everybody, we are back and this will be our final episode of the season. And today we're talking about GLP-1s and how it affects your face and what we can do about it. And Melanie is here with me today. How are you doing, Mel?
I'm good. This is such a great topic and it is affecting our whole country. And it's one of the biggest trends in the medical aesthetic industry is like people saying Ozempic face. There are trainings about it now. I know that 6% of our country is currently on a GLP-1, which, for diabetes, and now it's on label for weight loss. Literally everyone in LA is on a GLP-1, Ozempic, Wegovy, terpidazide. I can't, there's just so many that I can't name them all. Oh, that is terpidazide is the Zepbound one, and that's there for the weight loss. So anyway, so this Ozempic face, everyone's coming into my clinic being like, hey, I've lost about 30 pounds this year and I just feel like everything's dropping and going down and I feel so old, what can I do? And, on it, like the way to add volume back into your face is filler and Sculptra. And, there's this filler fatigue we've had for the last year or two because of all of the misinformation online, et cetera, and the bad aesthetic people are doing. So anyway, Michelle, you are a Sculptra filler trainer. So I want to ask you, someone coming in that has lost 30 pounds and they're my, 50s, mid 50s, also going through menopause. How would you help them replenish their face? What would you do for Ozempic face?
So I do a lot of Sculptra in my practice, and there was recently a new study. I think it's still going with the makers of Sculptra, Galderma, and it's on patients on GLP-1s that are on their weight loss journey, where they're combining filler in the upper face and mid face and the cheeks, and then Sculptra on the lower cheek on label part. It's called a shape up hit, and this is what I train on even in some of the practices, and I do this in my own practice, and it works amazing. And the study has been really positive even after 3 months, just maintaining skin quality, improving skin quality, and giving natural volumetric results as people are losing weight. So at least there's a study on injectables with the GLP-1 weight loss. And that's pretty pivotal for our times, that at least we have something to speak on that's been studied. So, and that's exactly what I do. I mean, it depends on how much weight the patient's losing. We basically make a plan, and it's a combination of filler, Sculptra, along with some skin tightening modalities like RF needling, oral therapy, and we go from there. And there's a big misconception, though, that it's interesting. People are like, no, I want to lose all the weight before I put in filler. And I'm like, why? You're going to look really tired. And you're not, I think people just don't know. They're really still confused of when to start taking care of their face. And sometimes we don't see people until they've had a dramatic shift in their weight that translates to their face.
And then they need so much more product. So yeah, I like the trainers down here, and I'm sure you're saying it as well, is like it's better when you're going to go on a GLP-1 or your goal is to lose 30 or 40 pounds. Before you lose the 40 pounds and look like a completely different person, do a little bit, go into your aesthetic provider and be like, hey, I've lost a few pounds and I'm on a weight loss journey. How can I prevent myself from looking like it looks, when you can lose 30 pounds, it looks like you've aged by like 10 or 20 years. Like you lose all the volume in your face. Like babies are beautiful because they have the collagen and the bone and the muscle, and they have no wrinkles and they look beautiful. And as we get older, that all goes away, especially when you're on a GLP-1. So like when you said this new study, you do filler, like
Yeah,
tell me
so
exactly what
in
your
the
recipe
study, they
is.
used Restylane Lift and Restylane Contour along the zygomatic arch, and then they used Sculptra on the lower half of the cheek. And Sculptra really shines on the lower half of the cheek because when you have a little bit more collagen that's built in the kind of preauricular area, it does tighten the skin and helps everything from collapsing in. And then the filler on the upper zygomatic
Mhm.
arch can just naturally give you a fast result where it helps support the under eye hollows, the nasolabial folds. So the combination is really nice. It's like a quick wow where you can see that effect of the filler really quickly. And then over 2 to 3 months, you're building some collagen so things even look better. So that's been a great combo for people. But just, it depends. Like if we want a quick result, we can do filler and then we can top it off with Sculptra later down the road. I think it's better to start with Sculptra though, especially on your weight loss journey, because Sculptra takes a good 3 months to fully start to kick in with the max amount of collagen at that time and volume. So if you start, um, at the beginning of your journey and then you're losing weight throughout 6 months to a year, at least you'll be building collagen and helping your skin from kind of collapsing down.
Yeah,
So,
that's an amazing plan. Like to do some sculpture, right? You know, go see your provider and be like, "Hey, I'm about to lose the weight." Do a like 2 vials of sculpture, and then while you're losing the weight, that will be
yeah.
building up. That's like such a
And
cool
now
idea.
I
I
think
love that.
Sculptra is just even more on trend just because of all the GLP-1s and especially the study that proves that it's helping people on their weight loss journey with their face, and as well as like people want things that are bioregenerative and like are doing a little bit more for them. I mean, but the combo is always a good combo. Like we still need filler. It's just we're using things in combination now to work more efficiently. So yeah, I think that's great. I think I'm also doing like sculpture just on the body and combining it with like other treatments like RF needling on like the stomach to build collagen, on the crepey knee skin because people are losing weight on their body too. They're losing volume on their booty. So we're even doing sculpture just replenish what they've lost, not even to really build a new butt. We're just trying to like have not have saggy skin, So it's used as like just looking healthy. People are just trying to look healthy.
When you do the knee one, like where is your entry point for it's like you do the on label 18:1 dilution, but where do you do like the entry
Yeah,
point?
so it's not on label on the body, but in my private trainings we do it, and so it's usually I use an 18 cc for skin quality dilution with Sculptra. And I just literally go like where I'm seeing the wrinkles. You don't want to go too much on the joint. You want to be a little bit above the joint.
Yeah.
And I just fan it with
Hmm.
a 22 gauge cannula. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. It looks so sculpture looks so good on the body, and it's like
Hmm.
so just a gentle, like just
Great for
I'm
your skin.
noticing like my body's just
Yeah.
getting wrinkly. I'm like, oh my God, it's the estrogen
Yeah.
loss. But like I know I'm like, okay, I need
Or
sculpture like
even just
throughout my entire
preventively,
body
like
right
people get concerned with the inner arms, their knees, their stomach. Like these are things that, you could do some Sculptra and then add on like Ultherapy on top or like Morpheus on top just to build some collagen or whatever, like collagen producing laser or Ultherapy or radio frequency that you have. I need to do that too. We all do. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to do everything.
to boost the sculpture. I know I was trained with that too, to do the energy based device. How when would you do the device after
I
Sculptra?
mean, you could theoretically do it same day. Sometimes I'll do that.
Mm,
But really, Sculpture's making collagen like around month 2 to month 3 the most. So, but same with your energy based devices. So you want to do them within probably a pretty tight window so that, yeah, I
like
think 2 weeks is
2 weeks, yeah.
good.
I do it
Yeah,
like I do two
I think
weeks,
that's
like a
good.
week or two, just like and also
Yeah.
because it boosts it too to help it produce the
Yeah, I think if
collagen.
you can do it within a 2 week to a month window, it's good. They'll have more downtime if you do them together. So you have to be careful. But also like people want to get things done. So
Yeah,
combo treatments
combo
can really be
combo
helpful. You
treatments.
could even put on like the CO2 lift mask. I don't know if you guys started doing that.
We have that. I haven't used it yet, but I've heard amazing things about it. I have it at my practice.
I
I need
might
to
put it on
use one
today
of
because I have a
those.
cold and I feel tired. So I'm going to put it on my face to rejuvenate. But
It's the one in the gold package,
yeah, so
right?
like
Yeah, 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 we
theoretically,
have
that can really
those.
help your healing time because it's increasing carbon dioxide to the tissue, which then tells your body to rush a whole bunch of oxygen to the area and heal faster. And theoretically, it's like equivalent to a hyperbaric oxygen chamber session. So that's kind of intense. So when I'm doing combo treatments, I highly encourage patients to use the mask to help their healing time.
When do you have them put on the
Um,
mask?
it depends on the treatment, but theoretically, you can put it on like right after like any lasers or RF needling.
It's like exosomes, but it's
You could
a
put
different
on exosomes after
chemical.
plus that. So that's what I've been, I think the exosome, I just got back from the plated advisory board.
Oh yeah, tell me all about this and what you learned at that conference.
So there's a lot of buzz around exosomes right now. And as providers, we're still learning, and as patients, we're still learning. And it's really hard because there's a lot of different exosome companies. I think somebody had quoted over 500 exosome companies. And so it's really confusing for the practitioner and the patient of like, how do we differentiate these exosomes? Like, how do we know that like the company's legit? How do we know what's the difference between this exosome company and that exosome company? And it's very complicated. It's basically biology. Like we are having to rely really on peer reviewed journal articles. And I do really like Ryan Aesthetics, the plated in my practice. I feel like from what I've seen, it's the most like researched exosome product out on the market. It has over 10 peer reviewed articles, just like a way to categorize what is considered exosome, like proper exosome product. There's certain markers that have to be in the product to even categorize it as an exosome product. And so I'm not a scientist, but I have it written down. It's like I have to look at the actual technology, but I think that's very helpful for us so that we have intelligent questions that we can ask other providers and other companies of, do you have these markers within your product? And also the source of the exosome really matters because basically an exosome is a messenger cell, and that messenger cell is telling other tissues and other cells what to do. And if it's not the right signal, that can be scary, right? The function of a platelet or the platelet exosome is telling your body to repair, regenerate, build collagen, build elastin. That's the signal that it's putting out. But whether you're getting an exosome from different parts of the body, the signals could be different. And how they batch and make those products and where that exosome is coming from is all very technical. And so basically, not all exosomes are the same. Like it's not. So this is a really new technology that we as providers really need to educate ourselves on and gather as much info to make sure that we are providing, a really high end safe product for our patients.
That's probably similar to like PRP a little bit. That's
Yeah.
really interesting.
It's
Okay.
kind of like sending a similar type signal as the PRF or the PRP, which is very safe and regenerative. But what we found is, or what we were told is like a lot of these exosome products on the market, they might not even have a high percentage of exosomes. They could have fragmented cells and other things in there. So we just want to be careful with all this new technology, especially people that are off label injecting them, which is not legal that I know of. Just be, I mean, there's crazy things happening in our
Oh, they
industry, and
inject exosomes?
that's not legal. No.
Right. That I don't do that. But I would say to patients out there, people that ask what brand they're using at the clinic you go to, even you can if they're like, "Oh, I don't know."
And it is confusing. It's a confusing topic because it's so science and cutting edge that like, I'm getting as much educated on it as I can to make sure I'm understanding these things too. But what I got out of all of this is that not all exosomes are created equal, and it really depends on the source, the company, And just because it says exosome does not mean it's equal. So we just need to educate our patients on that. And I think the Plated and Ryan Aesthetics is doing it correct. And it's very inspiring. And I think it's helping a lot of my patients. I even make my husband put it on. I slap it on his face.
Awesome.
And
Amazing. That's so cool.
I think it's the way that things are headed. And, we probably will be injecting these like down the road. We're just not there yet. But yeah, there's also that leads me to other terms and like it's getting a little confusing, and I'm not an expert in these, but this is like kind of buzzing in aesthetics is PDRN, which is like polynucleotides. And that's like the salmon sperm product. That's the booster, the salmon sperm booster in Korea. And they're able to inject it in Korea, but now it's coming to the US just to be applied topically after like lasers and needling and things like that. And there's a few different brands of that. So that's interesting. I'm kind of like studying that and like trialing that a little bit. How does that compare to like the exosomes and like the PRF? There's just too many things now. And then there's the latest one, which is PDGF, which I've been trying to keep abreast of. And the company is Essence. And I know some injectors are starting to experiment with that, but I don't know. I don't know enough to talk about it, but it's like a wound healing response. And I think it's probably best used in a wound healing response. I'm observing and I'm trying to understand it. But I think we're all just trying to push the envelope of
Right.
like regenerative medicine and aesthetics.
Yeah, well, what I do the on label, generic kind of things that everyone does, and I'm seeing results with it. And you see how the exosomes like cut the healing time, and how it does cut the healing time.
It's a messenger molecule that can like signal into your cell and absorb into your cell better. And like it makes sense, like doing that on a daily basis will probably do way more for you than putting a one time exosome on after a treatment. Like if you're doing it on a regular basis, you're going to get way more out of it than like a add on after a treatment. So I'm really a big believer in that brand and that product, but we'll see. I just like things that have a lot of science behind them that are more cutting edge and like it's exciting to me. But these are all of like the new terms. And I mean, the PDRN is kind of interesting, like just like because it still is like the number one skin booster in Korea is Rejuvenation. And like that's like the salmon sperm DNA that is mixed with like hyaluronic acid and other like antioxidants.
I've heard about it, and people swear by it. I haven't used it yet.
It's like how much topically is it really benefit? Like, is it really helping topically, or is it really only helping with injecting it? Which we're not there yet.
Well, if you have resurfacing and you have openings in your skin, and if it's applied to those wounds, those micro injuries, it's going to absorb into the dermis, right?
Yeah, it's just like there's too many things now. It's like which one is better? Like exosomes versus like PDRN versus like just your regular PRF versus like yeah, there's just too many things. Plus the PDGF that's coming out. Like none of us know. There's like 4 to 5 things spiraling. Plus we have companies latching on to each one and making their own version. And we're all just like overwhelmed. And we have to do our due diligence of understanding the science and doing right by what's best for our patients. And so I think it's going to be a very exciting regenerative medicine time for
Hmm.
aesthetics, but also extremely confusing. And like we're confused as injectors, like how are our patients feeling? And they only get like one thing online where they're brainwashed by a certain thing and they just believe in it. And you're just like, I don't know. Like, let's slow down a little bit and just like take things slower and do one thing at a time? And that's what I'm trying to do. That's why I'm going to these webinars. I'm trying to understand the science. I'm talking to like the people with the PhDs and all this stuff. I'm like, I'm trying to understand. And they're trying to help us too, of like, how can we be better critiques as like educators of like what questions do we need to really ask. And luckily my husband's an anti-aging scientist, so I can ask him these questions and it's a nice resource, and I'm going to try to help you all and like tell you what I'm seeing. But this is a new dilemma for us as injectors. Yeah, it's a new arm. So with that, I think that wraps it up, right?
For sure. Yeah, we can do our next episode in a few months about like what's happened over the summer or whatever, because things happen so quickly now.
Things are moving quick. Yeah, things are moving pretty quick, but these are all the new terms that I'm hearing that I'm trying to educate myself on to educate you all. And it's hard just when patients will send me a video and people are doing some interesting things online that aren't really mainstream yet. And it's, I'm trying to do my best to educate them. And we just want to like not jump into everything. We want to be science-based about it and take our time to really see results.
Yes, be slow and steady before you bring on a new product or buy something on Amazon or on some like third party website from Korea and like ship to you. Like
I
it's,
saw something terrifying online. I was like, somebody was asking, of course, I was on TikTok and it was like, have you heard of Latibo or Letibo or however the hell you say it? And then somebody had commented in, not on my post, it was just some random post. They're like, all the cool girls are buying it from Korea and doing it themselves. And I'm like, no wonder people are ending up in the hospital. Like, no
yeah,
wonder.
yeah,
Like, what the hell, people? Be safe. That's
yeah.
really scary. It's there's like that whole
It's
underground
so
thing that we haven't even
scary.
talked about, but like that's
Yeah,
just like not having common sense. Um,
yeah.
I'm on a I recently am trying to up my ultrasound game and I'm on like a whole I'm connected with some really smart ultrasound savvy injectors, which is really helpful. But just like seeing like the reactions around the world from like different products and people self-injecting and like I'm just like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, there's like an influencer that videotapes them like injecting filler into their like they do a whole like video. They're like, this is how you do it at home.
That should be illegal. I'm sorry. Somebody, if they don't even let us do certain things with because our FDA is so strict, can they please like ban these things that are really, really unsafe of people self-injecting and teaching other? Like, can we please have that? Can we have that be illegal, please? Like, why is that not?
Yeah, I mean, if you ever, I think if you ever see some, and I'm going to start doing this. I'm not online. I'm not on social media because I am, but I don't go on it enough. I wish I went on it more. But anyway, if you do see one of those,
I'm too on it. It's brainwashing me. I'm exhausted. I'm too on that. I need to get off of it.
you're on it too much. I'm on not on it enough. But anyway, if you see one of those really unsafe, illegal practices, flag the posting so at least like the algorithm picks up what
I
kind
mean,
of shit you
I
post.
haven't
Yeah, start
run
doing
into
that.
it that frequently,
Exactly.
but I'm just saying that there's a dark side to our industry, which we all know. So anyhow, that's why my training business is blowing up because I'm doing the basics very safe for everyone. And
Yeah, that's good.
yeah, yeah, and good aesthetic. All right, you guys. I think this was a really informative like session for us and our last episode. So thank you for hanging out with us and we might take a little break for season 3. I'm going to try to get some cool guest speakers for you guys. Although I love you, Mel, and I'm so glad you can be on anytime.
Oh,
Yeah.
love you too. Yeah, I'll come on with one of your amazing speakers so I can learn from them too.
And today I'm a little more unfiltered because I'm fighting a cold and I'm just going for it. So please share the episode, like, as we put a lot of time and effort in, and I have a little podcast team, and I would love it if you love the episode. Please share it to your friends, patients, give us feedback, and say hello online. Okay. All right. Bye. For our latest news, follow us on Instagram at aesthetics.unfiltered.podcast or in our personal pages on Instagram.
Mine is melanie.skin.np and Michelle skin.smarty.np, both on Instagram. Have a great day.